Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you on an absolutely picture-perfect day here in Hollandale Beach. We hope to see you out here. The weather is beautiful. It's a little hot, but it is summer in Fort Lauderdale. Well, I was going to say Fort Lauderdale. It is summer in Fort Lauderdale too, but Hollandale Beach, South Florida, it's a little hot, but the weather looks great out here. We've got a good solid 8-race card, and of course the big news is the Rainbow Six is up to $300,000.
Yeah.
In the gross jackpot guarantee. That is a big number.
It's a huge number. And the rumor I heard about you yesterday was wrong.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
And my best bet single one, too. So it's kind of doubly frustrating. I appreciate you reminding me.
That's okay. But, hey, today's a new day. You've got the Rainbow Six ticket at a little bit later.
That's true.
We're going to end the week strong.
It's a fun day because on the 8-race cards, we've got horizontals right through the rip. Race 1 through 5 are all horizontals. And, of course, race 1 will kick off the early pick 5. We'll take a look at my ticket now. $36 play for me. Not a lot of scratches, at least maybe early on. Really nothing significant, actually, to me early on. We'll get to the opener in a second. I've got a lot of ones in there. In race number 2, the 4 is on top. Calciatore will show a replay of that, I believe. In race number 3, the 6, Delta Red for me. There's the single down inside, Sea Pearl. I had this race 1-4, and I was going to use them both, but a $72 ticket I will not be giving out. So it's just a 1, Sea Pearl. In race number 5, I am down inside with Miss Ukrainia. We'll draw a line through the Tapeta route, and we'll focus on the dirt run. 2 back, that's a $36 excuse me, early pick 5 play. And we'll get into the opener now. Could be a little tricky one here. We do scratch the 4, My Dude Nestor. These are the 2-year-olds, the Colts in here. $25,000 maiden claimers going 5.5 on the main track, and we both land on the same horse, the 6, a first-time starter for Ronnie Spatz. Come Dream with Me.
Yeah, and this is an interesting horse because, well, to me, he's gelded. 2-year-old, first time out, and I love this. Always dreaming offspring. They've just been so-so to me.
That's being kind.
Okay.
Our Florida Derby and Kentucky Derby winner, so-so is being kind.
Yeah, well, we'll hope that I'm being kind with this pick because this is a horse that the Dam won first time out. That was on the Tapeta, but still there's some precocity there. Miguel Vasquez jumps aboard. I love, although the work leading into this race is 50 from the gate, yeah, that's not that quick, but we can't see the work. Maybe the plan was just to break this horse out of the gate. You get him past the gap here where the gate is set up, just really let him run, and then you just do a nice controlled work coming into the race.
Yeah, and not only that, he hummed pretty good on July 12th when he went 48-3. He did well to draw outside, but not all the way outside.
Yeah.
I know you like that as well. And, certainly we'll go to Pesky next for Arundel, the homebred, and they've done such a good job with it. They do such a good job with the 2-year-olds every year.
Yeah.
I really feel like the program's amped up a little bit this year, winning races in bunches. They won one yesterday in a maiden claim or two. Pesky's going to be tough. He probably can run a little bit and, going to get bet a little bit, but it's going to be an underlay price.
Yeah, and the thing with this colt, too, is there are no local works. They're all at the farm. And to me, I tend to stay away from horses like this debuting just because you don't really know what's going on there. And I know it's a great operation, but still, I would rather them have a go on the main track. Yeah,
there's a slew of works here. None of them really stand out, but as she said, we don't really know what's going on. Samantha will get a look at them for the opener. You actually go to the 2, Hunka Munka, and this is a good race to get a look at them because, we don't have a lot to go on, but what we do have is our leading rider, Lionel Reyes, getting aboard for a low percentage barn. It's significant.
Yeah, it's huge, and it'll be interesting to see how the odds kind of change closer if they're going to bet this horse or not. The Dam won sprinting going 4.5, so there's some quickness to this guy here. That work at Palm Meadows is that's quick from the gate there.
I agree,
2 gate works in a row. This horse looks like he might be sending.
This is the definition of a tab the tote board race because the only afternoon runner that we've seen is Kingy, and he's a huge long shot in here. So definitely pay attention. Pay attention late, too, when the odds really start and the influx of money really starts to come in. We'll go early pick 4 time in race number 2. We're routing a mile 70 on the Tapeta. It's a $40,000 maiden claimer, the optional maiden claimer. The Florida Breds do not have to be in for a tag. It's a clean race, and Samantha's got the ticket. We'll take a look at it now.
Yeah, I do, and this is a solid little sequence. I couldn't really find any leverage, though. It's spreading in this race. The 2 is my top pick. Race number 3, the 6 on top for me, a Delta Red, and kind of a paceless race. Race number 4, the 1, Sea Pearl. I'm seeing that the same way as you, but I think that I don't want to put too much stock into Sea Pearl here. And in race 5, the 5 Black Ice for me, not really going to be a long shot, a below average shot.
Not even an average shot?
Maybe an average shot.
Okay.
We'll see. There's the scratch in that race. So we'll see. $24 for me, and good one to kick it off.
Well, you'd like to think you're going to have the winner here.
Hope.
Using 4 of them. Didn't use the Safi Firster, though, on the outside. But we both got a lot of our numbers match in here.
Yeah.
You go ahead with One Fast Dream. Well, take it away with your angle here.
Yeah, first.
Oh, we got the replay, too. You can talk about that.
Yep. So this is the last time these horses kind of all face each other. Thank you guys so much. Cacciatore, I think this horse is going to be super bet, and he did a lot of work from the back there. One Fast Dream was extremely heavily bet last time, and he ran well. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He just kind of flattened out to me, and he did some of the dirty work on the front end here. Cacciatore ran huge at the end there. We see him, the one horse, just kind of flying by. But I think One Fast Dream, with the first time gelding here now, Misael Jaramillo's back here after a nice third-place finish on Dean Delivers at Saratoga. We'll get to that later.
We will, yeah. Dean ran well.
Dean ran well. And, I'm excited to see how this horse kind of comes back from that.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly in the mix in here, the gelding. Maybe that's the big move up as well.
Yeah.
If I can nitpick a little bit, he was 7-5, and you expected maybe a move forward on the drop, finally, and he didn't. So it's a spread race, though. I went to Cacciatore. You saw it right in front of you. I thought he ran very, very well. And, now we're third off a sizable layoff with the form cycle, and typically that's a horse's best race. And, maybe that moves him forward.
Yeah, it could. This is probably the most likeliest winner. 5-2. Yeah, that's fair.
Right, because he really moved forward off that race.
Yeah.
And when the race you saw was his first race off an August layoff.
Exactly.
So now he's a little tougher and tighter. I think, and that's probably going to play out in here. And you certainly have him high up.
Yeah.
We saw Eric as well. How about Jose D'Angelo popping yesterday at 25-1 with the Firster?
That was impressive.
Nobody bet a nickel on that horse. So you had the heavy favorite in there. I guess, we've got Right Karma in the mix as well. Safi's got a couple in here.
Yeah.
He's got the Firster Sunshine Frolic. Neither of us went there, but he did put Vincent Guidel on a winner earlier. So just maybe a little food for thought.
I think so, too. And I maybe actually prefer this one to Right Karma, just due to the fact that he's coming in with some solid Tapeta works. He's obviously got a good foundation, went to the bench last year. This may be just a slower developing horse, but gelded, drawn well.
You can be a first-time starter and make a dent against this group.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Might actually be a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, just a little food for thought if you're really spreading. 2 down, 6 to go. When we come back after a short break, it's rainbow time. $300,000 in gross jackpot guarantee.
And they're off.
My Racehorse has opened up a door for people that felt like that door would have never been opened for them.
We can all be owners and we can all get that excitement.
You can meet your horse through the different experiences and all of the events that My Racehorse puts together. You get that hands-on connection.
Whether you have $50 or $500, everyone that joins My Racehorse gets that experience of a lifetime.
I love My Racehorse. Let's go.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. A beautiful day here. Hope to see you out here. 8-race card, and we've got 2 down. We've got 6 to go, and it's Rainbow 6 time in race number 3. And this is a big pool of $300,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee. And the pool's going to get bigger and bigger by the day because this is a number now that is attracting a lot of eyes. I've got the old playbook 43.20. We'll get to this race in a second. I did go 1-4 because I could afford to do so in race 4, whereas I singled C Pearl in my early pick 5. Romashka, and I saw you have this filly in your mix as well. He's got a big chance in here. 4 deep in race 5, down inside to Miss Ukrainia. In race number 6, Carson on top for Safi and Edgard Zayas. Race number 7, that is my long shot. We've got 2 scratches in there. I am really stabbing with my Ashley, but we'll take a little shot. We like Mike Yates around here. And in race number 8, we got long shot best bet double for you, Peach Nectar. Very rare. I take the low-hanging fruit, but I will take it today.
You have to sometimes.
Sometimes you have to take what's in front of you, and that is Peach Nectar. I think she's 7-5 on the morning line, and it is what it is. But if you need an anchor, that could be her. There it is. So we'll go with that theory there on a 43.20 play. So let's get into leg number 1, that first leg. And again, all these races are in our horizontals early, which is kind of cool, because if you have an opinion, you can really
hammer it.
You can hammer time. So we're 62.50 claimers here. 6 furlongs, the 3-year-old fillies or 4 and up, which have never won 2. Field of 7, and it's clean, and we both go to Delta Red.
Which is interesting because 6-1 on the line.
Okay.
Yeah. To me, this is a race where, 1, it's not loaded with talent.
Yep.
2, not loaded with speed at all. And I don't think that the 6 is that fast, but she is faster.
Yeah, to be close at least, if nothing else.
Exactly.
And the other thing she is, too, and I'm not going to knock our locals here in this race, she's a new face.
Exactly.
And the locals, the gals that are here, are a little tough to trust. Now, I don't know if we'll get 6 on Delta Red, but the public might be a little leery of her.
True.
As a Tampa invader for, a barn that, isn't winning a lot of races here.
Yeah.
But I think she's a player in here. That was a comeback race last time. She made a middle move. Tired late. I think she ran very, very well. And I don't necessarily know if she's going to be on the lead, but as you said, there's no speed in this race. She's very well drawn here, too.
She is, and this is a race where you're not going to get a deep closer at the top of the stretch, so you kind of just have to go with what you have. And they're going to bet the 1 here.
Heck yeah. They're going to bet the 1. Jose D'Angelo puts blinkers on. Jaramillo is aboard. Blinkers and Jaramillo say to me, this is probably your speed. Take a deep breath and hope she lasts. She comes out of a darn tough race where maybe in hindsight she was overmatched.
Yeah.
It's not like she made any friends with her debut win. She wasn't breaking any stopwatches.
Right, she wasn't. And Flag Woman was Jose D'Angelo's other entry in that race that she knows it all is coming out of. And that one came back to win on the Tapeta, which was a bit of a head scratcher.
Sure was.
She ran so well in the dirt.
Yeah, it was a very key race. But the problem is she knows it all is going to be overbet.
Yeah.
Going to have to do it the hard way. From there, I think things really get a little, countless
all
dream.
Over the place,
all over the place. Countless dream for you. And I mean, Kathleen, she makes sense. She might pass a few horses too.
Might.
Yeah,
coming from Tampa, fresh legs, had a little wake-up gate work on July 23rd. We'll see.
My vacation suite's favored in here. I don't know why I would want her at all.
Yeah, I guess if you're playing a ticket and you want to go, you don't just play one Kathleen O'Connell horse.
Well, that's true. India Pelagia's got decent figures. This is a race that serious rainbow players, I guarantee you, will be alive when the race is over.
Yeah.
They will buy this race.
Yes, you have to. I think, if you got a bigger budget, this is a race you probably should.
Without a
Unless
doubt.
you know something we don't. In that case, come let us know.
Let us know.
We need to know.
Follow me on Twitter and ask me.
Yeah, there you go. Have to follow you on Twitter.
Race 4 kicks off the late pick 5. We're sprinting on the Tapeta here in this $16,000 maiden claimer. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. It's clean, and Samantha's got the ticket for you.
I do, and my best bet comes earlier in the day, so no single for me. It's a big one here. And a big spread for me in this 4th race. This is a ticket that I'll give you a skinnier one on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I will post that out. The 1 C Pearl on top for me, but I think it could be a problematic race. Race number 5, the 5 on top, Black ice for me. Find Your Passion's going to be tough. That's the 6 as well. Race 6, a few scratches in this spot, but the 5, Holiday Fantasy on top for me and Kathleen O'Connell. Race number 7, the 7 on top, 7-7. That's Bedtime Story. Ooh, I can't wait for this one today. You've got your long shot in here, so this will be a fun race. And in race 8, the finale, Anthony's Rocket for Scott Acker and Leno Reyes to end the sequence.
Very quietly, Scott Acker does a very good job.
Yeah, I had a nice winner with him last week with Uncle B.
Oh, you know what? I just watched those replays this morning, and Uncle B, and hoping he ran okay, but Uncle B ran him down on the square.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Got it home, yeah.
All right. Yeah, my long shot's 20-1 on the morning line. There are 2 scratches in there, and I hope my long shot still is 20-1 because
Might be, yeah.
It is a long shot. I think that one is tabbed correctly. Okay, so let's start it here. In race number 4, you see Samantha is 4 deep in here. It could be a problematic race. There are a lot of people, and you did land on the 1. There are a lot of people that are just going to take her and move on and hope at the end of the day she's better than these. She might be, but I'll tell you what, she's going to be a huge favorite, and her margin for error is a very slim one.
It is, and she gets the rail. Don't always want to be there.
Yeah.
Edgar Zayas rides. It's good to see him get on this filly. But yeah, like you said, she's hard to trust, kind of.
She is. She's lightly raced and moving forward. She is what she is. She drops a little bit. She probably is a $16,000 claimer. One thing I will say about the rail, and I think on the whole, it's like an 80-20. You don't want to be there.
Right.
There's been days, and there was a day last weekend where it wasn't that bad. You've just got
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you just got to kind of watch the races a little bit and see what's going on and maybe make that assessment. And that can be a dangerous one, admittedly, but just kind of food for thought. The other logical one I thought was Romashka, but she's a little tough to trust too. Does go second time LASIK. Just lower percentage connections I wanted to maybe keep underneath.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this filly is the maiden race she's coming out of, that Martini's Amica, I think was an 0-for-22er.
Yep.
Broke her maiden. I think it was in the finale last week on Sunday.
That's a thing though now.
It is. Yeah, it's a big thing. 0-for-32 on Friday we had. So my point being, I don't think that's the strongest race.
Let's take a look at the stat, and I'll let Samantha talk about Starship Vanity, a Steve Dwoskin firster. This is not the stat. Is it? No. I'm going to get that corrected. Did I send over the wrong stat? Because Steve is not a first-time starter guy. I'll get it here in a second. Starship Vanity, this is a barn that's about 25% second out. I'm going to find it after I toss it to Samantha. Maybe I sent it over wrong. A lot of works here, debuts for 16. I didn't know what to make. Yeah,
at least they're not getting stingy with this horse at all. I mean, she is what she is. Last year in that OBS April sale, she sold for $25,000, just a daughter of Accelerate. Not too much on the dam side. She worked 10-2 that day, but that was at like 12:52, and it was like 83 degrees.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the Tapeta kind of opens up more, expands, and that gets a little bit harder to travel over. So the fact that she still worked 10-2, that's a good thing.
Yeah. The stat appeared as 4-for-6. The stat is 4-for-67.
Oh, so you just forgot.
Oh. So, again, this is not a first-out barn. But, again, and we said it earlier, this is a horse that if she can run a little bit can make a dent in here.
Exactly. She's a new face, at least.
She's a new face,
if anything. Yeah.
Kick off the late pick 4 in race number 5. It's a run back of my Rainbow. I'll show it out there on Twitter. Where I'm going a mile on the main track. I like these races. 3-year-old fillies are 4 and up, which have never won 2. The tag is 12-5 down to 10. You are on the 5 Black Ice, which is surprising to me. You got the replay, right?
I do, yeah. I loved to hate her during the championship meet, but here she was blasting these maiden 12-5s. It was the 1-turn, 1-mile distance. She ran big here, and hey, I get it. She was one that was an 0-for-11er, I think, this day. We kind of all joked around about her the whole Royal Palm meet, but we got a different dimension of her. Since that win, she's gone 2 turns on the Tapeta, twice, and then sprinted 6.5 on the dirt. This is her first time back to that 1-turn, 1-mile distance now. I get it, she's changed barns since then, but why not?
Well, she's also been in 2 races that she's just
Way over her head.
way over her head. And you look at that race, and it was, you can make an argument that was her last true race, and you saw it right there. We talked about this a lot. When these kind of horses break through, they typically they can run right back.
Yep.
So don't sleep on her. You should get a decent little price on her too. I'm down on the inside with Miss Ukraine. I think it's pretty easy to draw a line through the Tapeta route last time, and you've got two race. Well, the last race, 2 backs sitting you right in the face. That probably is going to win this race.
That's true. And 7-2, yeah. I mean, we'll see with her. I think she leaves herself with too much to do late.
Well, that's true, and we've talked about it so many times. You better be closer at least.
Close-ish.
Find Your Passion will be. She'll also be overbet.
She will be. To me, makes sense, though. She's got a little bit of early foot, stretches out an extra furlong. She's trying it for the first time, but a daughter of the Big Beast says no problem.
No, she makes a lot of sense in here. There's no doubt about it. Late pick 3 time in race number 6. We're routing $170 on the Tapeta 12-5 maiden claimers. 3 and up in here. We've got the exacta reverse. You go Holiday Fantasy for Kathleen O'Connell.
Yeah, and I'll show you why, because this is a horse that he just made up a lot of ground late in his last race. Look at him. Thank you, guys. He was just nowhere to be found. And I love the way he just dug down and he drew the rail that day. You see him, he has to tip out from those other runners there. The winner was just so far away. I mean, there was no catching that horse, but look at the gap that he ends up closing in. I mean, from where he was at the top of the stretch to the ground he made up, that's impressive.
When you run down networking, you're doing some good things,
Okay, you are like #1 fan of networking, so I don't want to hear it.
Carson, for me, he's very logical for Safi and in Edgard's eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a little upside, if nothing else, off 4 starts. You can see the exactas reverse, but those are the 2 that are at least theoretically supposed to get you through this race. I will mention, though, I lost my top pick because Brooklyn Dreams is out of here. 4 scratches. The 2, 3, 7, and 10 are out, and I did have Brooklyn Dreams on top. Did you have them anywhere?
Yes, third.
A little lower? Okay.
Yeah. I thought you had networking on top.
No, did not have networking on top.
Shame.
We're not hanging out anymore. Okay, late double time in race number 7. We're splitting 5.5 on the Tapeta here. Fillies 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 2. Scratch the 2, scratch the 4. I will let you talk about the 7, who is a heck of a lot more logical than the 6, my Ashley.
Yeah, this is a filly. She came back in the Melody of Colors after 3 wins in a row on the Tapeta. Prime example of not always the Tapeta does not translate to a turf runner here. She's drawn perfect for this race. It's not like she ran poorly in the Melody of Colors. It was a tough race for 1, and for 2, I mean, this is just a filly to me. She gets Lasix back on. I love her.
Yeah, she's 3 to 5 in here. Scratches are not going to help your price either because the 2 and the 4 come out. You got to work with me on my Ashley, but there's a few things I like with her. Mike Yates is first and foremost. He's so good.
Yep.
And kudos to him. We'll talk about Dean Delivers in a second, but he brought him up to Saratoga and ran well. Mike is a first-out guy. He's a debut guy. Now, obviously, my Ashley has run 9 times, but it kind of works here because we haven't seen her since last July. She's got speed. Here's the other thing, too, that just kind of keeps coming back to. She's in for 50.
Yeah.
Not in for 12.5 or 62.50. She's in for 50.
Yeah.
Does not want to lose her. Maybe that's setting up a start next time. I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
It is. And she is trying the Tapeta for the first time, though.
Yeah.
She is 6 years old. I mean,
she's worked
realistically, why would you want to claim a horse that's 6 years old and only 1 win?
Well,
lightly raced.
Right. But that would be the other reason why he could just run her for 10.
That's a good point. Good point.
And here she is for 50.
She's got some solid works, too. And the thing is, with the Tapeta, I feel like you don't have to be 1,000% sharp because it tends to carry horses sometimes.
For sure. So she's a stretch. She's a bomb. But if you don't want the lead pipe single in here, this is the type of horse that blows things up. Let's get to the finale because I don't think we're going to blow things up in the finale.
No.
$16,000 maiden claimers, 5.5 on the Tapeta in here. 3 and up. It's scratch to 6. Cantaro, the first-time starter. Well, wow, you've got Peach Nectar third. So you talk about Anthony's Rocket and Partner Tours because those are alternatives to a huge favorite.
Yeah, Scott Acker, like you said, he's quietly having a very good meet. He doesn't have a lot of horses, but he's very, very good with these types of races here. He had a really incredible winner in the feature last week, Uncle B, but horses never tried the Tapeta before, running at Finger Lakes late last year. Kind of similar situation to your long shot last race. You don't have to be 1,000% fit, but I can guarantee Scott Acker has this horse cranked up where he needs to be. Has those 2 works behind him on the Tapeta. He's gotten to try out the surface before. Lionel Reyes says, hey, yeah, I'll ride. If I get 4-1, I'll be happy.
You almost have to, because you're going to bury Peach Nectar. And Scott, listen, Scott does not reach for Lionel a lot. When he does, he's 3 for 9.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
Peach Nectar's right in front of you. I don't have to tell you about him. You look at the Tapeta race 2 back. It's the race they have to beat. He drops a little bit. Safi, you know, we say it all the time. Why does he win a lot of races? Well, one of the main reasons is he puts his horses in the spots where they can win. And Peach Nectar, at the end of the day, is a $16,000 maiden claimer.
Yes.
So, well, what about Partners Tours before we go lightning round here? It seems to be on the improve.
That's what I think, too. Yeah, and Edwin Gonzalez stays aboard. You go back to that one-turn race. It fits perfectly here. That was back in early June, so I get it. Love Spell won last week. Granted, that was on the dirt, but it was a big win. I'm still not. Who was the horse yesterday that was coming out of the Bobby's Candy race? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't remember. There was a horse. We'll have to circle back on that.
I picked the horse, so I don't think it did a lot of running.
It probably didn't do any good. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. I think the cutback's going to help with this guy.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't get run off his feet too
He
much.
could,
so.
too, yeah.
All right, 8 of them for you on a Sunday. We got a fun lightning round, though, to take a look at before we leave you and send it up to Pete. A lot of horses that, again, we talk about it time and time again, that ran well here at the championship meet. This was not technically in the championship meet, but No Name Met's one of those 2 Royal Ascot qualifiers during the Royal Palm meet. Here you see him here. He's going up to your old stopping grounds at Monmouth today.
He is, yeah. And this turf course at Monmouth should suit him absolutely perfect. Too much give in the ground that day at Ascot and the Norfolk. Tough race as well. The turf at Monmouth is so speedy. This horse is drawn well for that race. Got Paco Lopez in the saddle. I'm going to be playing the race.
Yeah, and of course Crimson Advocate went over to Royal Ascot and won, the other George Weaver runner. So those 2 races were very, very successful in their inaugural editions. Your best bet today?
It is... Oh, first race. First race, Come Dream With Me.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. You've had success with those 2-year-old best bet first-time starters as well. I'm at the end with Peach Nectar, and I'm going to try to turn nothing into something because
that's okay.
This is my anchor horse here.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, on the horizontals. Long shot for you. Did your long shot scratch again?
No, but just a very average shot, Black Ice.
You're going to get a decent price on Black Ice.
It'll be okay. In the short field, I'll take it.
Yeah, I have a long shot. And my Ashley probably still will be close to 20-1 in a race with a couple scratches. It's a stretch, but it might be 40-1 actually, because Bedtime Story might be 1-5.
Yeah.
In there. Florida Forte. They're not without drama, as it always seems to be. But Forte went up to Saratoga, won the Jim Dandy, second in the Belmont, and there you go.
I'm on the Forte train. I can't get off of him. This horse, you know, regardless of whatever went on, this horse, you can't take anything away from him. He was finally more engaged than he's ever been.
Wasn't he, though? Yeah.
He won the hard way. The Travers looks loaded.
Oh boy!
But this horse, you've got to give him credit. I mean, he ran well.
So I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head. You're going to have our Florida Derby winner. You're going to have the Kentucky Derby winner, and you're going to have the Belmont winner, Arcangelo, trained by Johnny Antonucci. Probably the top 3 betting choices.
Yeah.
In the Travers, and you saw them here all winter long. So
it's awesome.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. All right behind us here, and it kind of makes it that more exciting. And when you look back at the championship meet, I mean, this was an incredible one, and looking forward to it. I know that I told you yesterday, man, this Pegasus It might be juicy.
Could be good if
Yeah.
everybody hangs around. And we got to give a quick shout to Dean Delivers.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think anybody thought he was going to go up to Saratoga and beat Gunite and certainly Elite Power. But he acquitted himself nicely.
He did.
And he beat everybody else he could have beat. And he ran third in the Grade 1. So Mike Yates and the team, congrats to him, too.
Yeah, they did a great job with them. And, hey, it's not easy to when you see the entries and see Elite Power there. I love Elite
Yeah,
Power.
you do, yeah.
I can't get this guy on the horse, but this horse was an absolute freak yesterday, and
He wants to beat you,
continues
I'll
to
give him
be.
that.
He does. Yep, he's a cool horse, and happy late birthday to Bill Mott too.
Oh, yeah, 70
it was
years
yesterday,
old.
70, yeah.
We know him well as well. We know Pete as well. He's upstairs getting scratches and changes. We'll be back for the opener. Happy to have you aboard.